I'm from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ken Godler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in National Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Tonight, incidents of torture not sanctioned by government. Police Ready Action Unit on high alert. And more early warning sirens for Suvarnasori corridor. Incidents of police brutality are not state-sanctioned, but the actions of a handful of individuals. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama drove this message home at a regional workshop on the United Nations Convention Against Torture. Rachel Nath has more.
What do you?
This is the first time Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has spoken at length about recent incidents of alleged police brutality. And what better forum than this?
What we have had are occasional problems with individuals or groups of people taking the law into their own hands and violating the human rights of others. But I repeat, no act of torture or cruel, inhumane or degrading treatment has been sanctioned by the state.
Bainimarama has stressed these are isolated incidents of torture, which ironically have also occurred in law enforcement agencies of Australia and New Zealand, which have their own skeletons in the closet.
We are singled out for condemnation for behavior that also occurs in the jurisdictions of our critics. I'm not excusing such behavior in any shape or form. I merely ask that Fiji be judged by the same standards that apply to any nation.
Australia's treatment of asylum seekers drew criticism as well, described as state-sanctioned detainment of innocent people in inhumane conditions to protect its own borders. For Fiji, the matter is rooted much deeper. Beatings were always a part of disciplinary measures.
This culture of what we call the muturaki, the beating, is deeply ingrained in parts of the Fijian psyche. But it is simply not acceptable. We are also making it clear in the ranks of the disciplined forces through a process of education and deterrence that we have a policy of zero tolerance for torture.
Fiji is also getting United Kingdom's assistance to improve the training of police officers. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Drug cultivation is a lucrative business and has seen many people living good lives on the proceeds of crime. The Anti-Money Laundering Unit of the Fiji Police Force appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Economic Affairs. Edwin Nund reports.
Money laundering is now part of investigations involving marijuana farmers.
Once they're in this business, they acquire a lot of valuable properties, twin cabs, four-wheel drives, 3-ton, solar panel, generators. If you go in the interior, their house is like a house somewhere in Namandi Heights.
All these assets under the law can be seized as proceeds of crime. Inspector Ayaz Ali told the Parliamentary Committee the drug trade is getting worse. Raids previously netted up to 6,000 marijuana plants. The last police operation uprooted more than 44,000.
There is a demand and the supply side. We are addressing both at this point in time. That is why we are asking the members of the community to come up and notify the police of information where they think that people are peddling drugs.
Many drug peddlers use legitimate businesses as a front for selling marijuana. Meanwhile, the unit is also seeing more internet scams targeting Fijians. The Anti-Money Laundering Unit needs more expertise, more funding and more equipment to catch criminals. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
The Police Ready Action Unit will be out in the streets maintaining peace this festive season. Chief of Operations ACP Rusiate Tundravu says families can rest assured that criminal elements won't mar celebrations. Kelly Vadala reports.
Officers from the Ready Action Unit will take the lead in crime prevention operations.
We are heading to the festive operations of Christmas and Diwali. They are normally dispatched out to the division to reinforce our police officers on the division in regards to that. So they're normally busy in almost every now and then.
The unit has existed since 1977 and only comes onto the streets on orders from senior police hierarchy. Traditionally, the Ready Action Unit has been used to capture violent criminal gangs and suppress riots.
They do come in as in reinforcement force to the division, to the stations. They are also on standby on any major events around the nation in which police officers from the division say would like to have extra manpower. So that is where the Ready Action Unit or the Special Response Unit comes in. And they are just a standby unit for our operations.
Tundravu says the unit has a limited number of officers and if need be, they'll recruit police officers that are available within the organization. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
There will be about 5 early warning sirens for natural disasters in Suva by 2018. This has been made possible through a new agreement signed by the Secretariat of the Pacific Community and GIZ International in Suva today. Ali Kimbia reports.
The extensive damage and loss of lives during Tropical Cyclone Winston in February highlighted the need of more early warning systems.
This is a step forward for us in terms of how we would be able to warn the communities if there is an impending cyclone, if there is impending tsunami to reach our shores.
The agreement to install more warning systems will strengthen Fiji's capacity to protect the people from devastating consequences if an event strikes.
To strengthen resilience of Pacific Island people and countries against disasters, be they triggered by climate change or be they have other origin.
We have seen what happened this year in Fiji, what happened last year in Vanuatu, but also in the northern countries we have, the team has been working with Marshall, with FSM on how you can better address and use this tool.
The new cyclone season will start from mid-November. The agreement will not only build resilience to disasters in Fiji and the Pacific, as it will also help save lives and reduce the economic impacts of disasters. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Laws governing access to villages, health, sanitation and businesses are some of the guidelines included in draft copy of the village bylaws. The draft copies were distributed to the members of the Tai-Levu Provincial Council today. Savara Tambua has more.
The draft village bylaw will ensure traditional leadership is upheld, respected and protected within the Tauke communities.
There's concern amongst the old people in the villages because of the unruly behavior of young people. So such bylaws would strengthen the honoring of people in the villages.
It's been long coming. The village bylaw, we thank the Ministry for Tauke Affairs.
The draft copies will be taken to the villages where they can make submissions if need be. Deputy Secretary for Tauke Affairs, Simon Wembuta says draft copies will be distributed to members of the Rewa Provincial Council tomorrow.
The submissions will be compiled by the Ministry of Tauke Affairs and will be submitted to the Tauke Affairs Board. The board will make the final decision before it's being forwarded to the Solicitor General's office just for vetting, before it's actually implemented as the village bylaws for the Tauke villages.
Submissions made by villagers within the Tai-Levu province are expected to be received at the Tai-Levu Provincial Office on the 22nd of next month. Sapira Tabua, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, Transport Ministry focuses on LTA reforms and universities to embark on a new course on disaster resilience. Stay with us.
Kita wani kaki-kaki lo menikor daw binakapiyon na pa ang Bula FM niron daw bingkarabi o ben hilo po viroro odo Na Bula FM number 2 na share.
Iyo Bula bina tangu peli untuk talitin na parang Bula FM na ako.
Number 2 tinangan ng Bula FM no sir. Bula FM number 2 na sir.
Bula siya kuni ba lambasa na ko Villa Merikibi Bula FM number 2 na sir. Talita itu ngai lambas.
Bula FM number 2 na sir.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport is working on reviewing the services of the Land Transport Authority. This was confirmed by Transport Permanent Secretary Paul Bailey during the National Transport Consultative Forum today. Sanyaning Boiler reports.
The Transport Ministry is undertaking major reforms in an effort to improve the industry.
Reform focus is currently on areas such as how do we improve customer service delivery? How do we improve an improvement in public transportation sector? A reduction in our number of road fatalities, which have spiked last year, and an effective enforcement.
Speaking at the forum today, Fiji's Olympic team chief de mission, Kathy Wong, said the ministry will have to be cautious on the changes in the transport industry. Wong says decisions need to incorporate future demands.
What is the legacy you wish to leave behind for Fiji's transport sector? What will the transportation landscape of Fiji look like in 10 to 20 years' time? Will it look like Rio? Do you want the people of Fiji and the visitors who come to Fiji to have the same experience we had in Rio, getting lost? It is a challenge.
The Fiji Roads Authority has also identified programs to assist in curbing traffic congestions during peak hours. The program will be rolled out from the capital city. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Diwali is certainly one of the biggest, brightest and most important festivals in the Hindu calendar. It is commonly known as the Festival of Lights. However, the religious bodies say instead of focusing on materialistic celebrations, people should do some soul-searching as well. Shireen Shivan reports.
The story behind Diwali and the manner in which it is celebrated differs, but the essence of the festival remains the same.
It brings the family and friends together. It brings the people surrounding you together.
75-year-old Maharaj says Diwali has been celebrated in Fiji since the arrival of indentured labourers from India in 1879. Maharaj recalls how people used to light up a lot of diyas to beautify their houses, as there was no electricity at that time.
They had these Fijian brothers and sisters. They come, they realize there is Diwali and Holi. They know during Holi, they go, they get good to eat, gulgula to eat. And in Diwali too, they will make a gulgula.
The word Diwali was derived from the Sanskrit term Deepavali. Celebrated as the victory of good over evil, the festival is associated with the legend of Lord Rama's return to Ayodhya after 14 years of exile.
Be as joyful as possible, but be as respectful as possible, and do your activities and performance within the confines of religion and right.
Diwali is celebrated over 5 days. The festivities start with Dhanteras, which falls tomorrow. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
Despite a small number of participants, there was no shortage of creativity in the Diwali card competition organised by Fiji Broadcasting Corporation's Hindi radio station Radio Fiji 2. Programs Director Pallavi Shweta says the craft shows that people need not spend on Diwali greeting cards. All the 12 participants used homemade products and ingredients such as rice, dal and turmeric powder.
The purpose of this Diwali card competition is mainly to bring out people's creativity and talent during the festive season.
Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy has reminded parents and guardians to keep an eye on their children during this festive season. Dr. Reddy says many students are sitting for exams during this time. However, they can take a break, but parents must ensure they are in a safe environment.
There are numerous cases of basic ignorance of the guide provided by the sellers of the firecrackers, which has led to some fatal accidents. So we do hope that parents will always be there.
A new course in disaster resilience will be rolled out at 2 universities next year, and in preparation, a Pacific Regional Federation for Resilience Professionals is now in place. It's envisioned to become an important association of climate change experts. Saniani Boila has more.
The Federation is an association for disaster resilience graduates who need to meet requirements and standards. Vice Chair for UN International Strategy for Disaster Reduction, Scientific and Technical Advisory Group, Professor Virginia Murray says it's a milestone for the Pacific.
This has never been done before, and yet it's here in the Pacific region. Shouldn't we be proud?
The $6 million project is funded by the European Union in partnership with the South Pacific Community and the University of the South Pacific.
What we want to do is to mobilize the skills and the expertise that are already available.
The Pacific Regional Federation for Resilience Professionals will greatly help the disaster resilience graduates in getting jobs in 15 countries around the region. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie now with a preview of what's coming up.
Nagasaki and good evening. Up ahead, local-based flying Fijians ready to prove their worth. And Nilesh Chand displays his spoils one in New Zealand. This and more after the break.
मैं जुगेन नबील तालिब से रेडियो फीजी 2 24 घंटे मेरे साथ रहता है।
हम मंगेरी ताउका के ललिश है। हमारे दिल में और दिमाग में खाली रेडियो फीजी 2 है और सभी भाइयों से आग्रह करते हैं कि रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनना चाहिए।
मेरा नाम अभिनेश है, मैं निंदी का रहने वाला हूँ। मैं सभी समय रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता हूँ क्योंकि उसमें आईना प्रोग्राम रहता है।
हाय, मैं उमेश नसासा नाबुआ से। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फीजी 2 सुना। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
First up in sports tonight, current Hong Kong Sevens coach Gareth Baba is understood to be one of the leading contenders to take up the men's Fiji Sevens coaching job. The new Sevens coaches for the men's and women's teams will be announced tomorrow morning at 10 by the Fiji Rugby Union. FBC Sports has received information from reliable sources that Baba is one of the most experienced coaches who applied for the job with FRU. The Welshman has been coaching the Hong Kong Sevens team since 2013. Baba also represented the Welsh Sevens team and played for Cardiff Blues and Bristol as scrum half. Current Fiji Sevens trainer Natha Dhawanimbuka is also in the running, along with former England international Ben Gollings. The local-based players in the Vodafone Flying Fijian squad will have a point to prove in next month's tour of Europe. While the local boys respect what the more seasoned players bring to the table, they won't be backing down from the challenge to make the starting lineup.
These are the core of local players who have made the cut into the Flying Fijian squad for the European tour.
It's a good learning experience for us. This is the first tour for me and all the boys, local boys going here. And it's a good opportunity to play and even to train with those guys coming from overseas.
All of these players have a huge responsibility upon their sleeves. One of them is Ermasi Randronro. The Nandronga loose forward is likely to partner Captain Akapusing Gera in the loose forwards.
It's a new tournament now, new level, and maybe learn a lot while playing there with Akapusi. Might learn a lot from him.
Suva halfback Serupepeli Vularika has a fight on his hand as he will battle against Nemia Kenatale and Nicola Matoalu for the number 9 jumper.
More experience, they've been playing for a while. I mean, for most of their life. It's an opportunity for me, so from there I'll give all my best so I can prove myself.
Coach John McKee says the local players have been outstanding in the provincial tournaments and have earned a place in the team.
We've worked hard on developing our set play and our tight play, and it's paying off, and it's great to see these local front rowers coming through.
Olympic gold medalist Vatemo Ravavo has also joined the local players who will depart for France tomorrow. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
About 50 teams are participating in the CMFI Madhuwata Regional Sevens tournament at Sabril Park in Lambasa. With the $10,000 prize money, the CMFI Madhuwata Sevens has attracted some big teams, not only from Vano Levu but Viti Levu as well, such as Yamadia, First Landing, New Net Yasawa and Police. Tournament coordinator Esava Takirua says they were expecting more teams to play as they had already registered. The 48 teams playing will compete for $10,000 in prize money in the Tier 1 competition and $3,000 in the Tier 2 competition.
To all of the people out there in Vanuatu, especially in Lambasa, who hasn't turned up today, I think they are missing one of the best tournaments ever held in Vanuatu, because I believe tomorrow, Friday, will be one of the main days as we come into the last round of the pool games.
Local amateur boxers will have a lot to fight for when they take on the Papua New Guinea contingent on Saturday. While Pauliasi Ratu Jr. hopes to follow his father's footsteps, Chone Koroi Langilangi is just grateful to have been selected in the Fiji team. Vastil Prasad has more.
Pauliasi Ratu is a famous name when it comes to boxing, and following his family legacy is his son Junior, who is ready to take on the PNG boxer in the Pacific Clash on Saturday.
I just show that nothing is impossible, and I've been preparing well. It's been 3 months now for hard training with the police team, and then I joined the Fiji team. I'll just show what I've been taught.
But it's totally a different story for Chone Koroi Langilangi. This will be his first outing to represent Fiji, and he doesn't want to lose the opportunity.
Long time I'm trying my best to be in the Fiji team. And now I'm in, and so I'm gonna prove my coach and all that everything is easy. It's just through God. Everything is, if God is with us, everything is possible.
This is not the end for them. Sukuna Ball is the next for the duo, followed by a mini Pacific Games in Vanuatu next year. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
39-year-old Fijian bodybuilder Nilesh Chand of Nakasina Sori is making a name for himself in the region. Chand won 3 gold medals at the Northland Championships in New Zealand over the weekend. Rohit Deo tells us more.
Nilesh Chand has been a bodybuilder for the past 4 years.
It was pretty amazing. At first I thought it's going to be totally different from me, away from home, away from friends and family, and somewhere new with new athletes. But they made me feel really welcome.
He won gold in the novice under 80 kilograms, men's open under 80 kilograms, and classic physics 75 kilogram categories.
My son challenged me to, Dad, I took him for a bodybuilding show and he challenged me, why can't you do this, Dad? And I was like 104 kg, big fat guy, never went to gym, it was like fat guy. Those who knew me, I was an alcoholic, I used to smoke, so I quit drinking, smoking, and made my son's dream come true.
Chand, who is an insurance law adjuster by profession, has now qualified for the New Zealand Nationals next year. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Askamoto's Toyota has launched the 2016 Toyota Dream Car Art Contest today. Education Minister Dr. Mahindra Reddy says this will allow children to submit their creative drawing or artwork to get a chance to win awards and attend an award ceremony in Japan next year.
Specifically, I believe this competition is designed to assist children to understand how the dream car will make the world a better place. It will develop children's interest in cars.
Sunny, dry conditions prevailed over most parts of Fiji today, except for cloudy skies in the east. Looking at the temperatures, they were cool in most centres. Ba was the warmest at 32 degrees, while Nadi and Lautoka followed at 31. The remaining centres all reached 28. Tomorrow is expected to bring sunny skies and humid conditions. And the further outlook, we're looking on to Saturday. Much of the country is expected to enjoy the warm temperatures as the generally dry weather is expected to continue. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. And recapping the main stories for tonight: incidents of torture not sanctioned by government, police ready action unit on high alert, and more early warning sirens for Suvarnasori corridor. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to our poll question this week, we are asking, is the school zoning policy working? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Good night.